Hi children, welcome back to the class. How are you all? I hope all of you are very well and excellent. Dear children, do you know which lesson we are going to learn today? Today in this video we are going to discuss about from gathering food to growing food, the earliest people. What is today's lesson? From gathering food to growing food, the earliest people. So let's look into the lesson. In this lesson, we are going to discuss about who are called earliest people, what types of food did they eat, how are the earliest people got their food, what types of clothes did they wear, where did they live, what types of tools were they used, and why were they moved from one place to another place? To know the answers for these questions, let us start our lesson. From growing food to gathering food. Dear children, we knew already we cannot live without food. We eat food daily. And we also knew that in every family, mother prepares the food for their family members. Yes or no, children? Yes, you are right. What type of food do we eat daily? Daily we eat different types of food. For example, rice, vegetables, curd, and on special days, Sundays, chicken, mutton, fish. Yes or no, children? Yes. On your birthday, special day, your mother prepares different types of delicious food items. Yes or no, children? Probably your mother prepares biryani. Do you like biryani? Yes, I like biryani. Dear children, do you know how to prepare biryani? Have you ever prepared biryani for your sister or brother? No, sir. We knew how to eat biryani, but we don't know how to prepare biryani. Dear children, there is one great brother. He knew how to prepare biryani for his sister. Let's see how quickly a brother prepares biryani for his sister.
खाना खा ले బిర్యానీ చేయలేదు అన్నయ్య
ఇంత త్వరగా ఎలా చేయడం
త్వరగా పూనుకుంటాడు త్వరగా మాయ చేస్తాడు త్వరగా అంతా చేసేస్తాడు
చూడు బిర్యానీ 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 బిర్యానీ
భలే త్వరగా చేసేసావు
Wow, what a great brother! How nicely and quickly made biryani for his sister. Very great. So what we have understood, children, we can prepare any food item at our home very easily. Nowadays we can prepare any food within minutes or even within hours. Yes or no, children? Yes. Why? Because we have all the ingredients available in the market. We can get them very easily and we can prepare the food very nicely and quickly. Dear children, how can we prepare the food without food grains? If there are no food grains, there is no food. Isn't it, children? Yes. Then how do we get the food grains? We get food grains from the farmers. Why? Because the farmers can grow different food grains. So we get different food grains from the farmers. Dear children, till today some people are living in forest areas. How do they gather their food? How do they prepare their food? There are no markets and shops. How do they get their food grains and other ingredients to prepare their food? Farming or cultivation of crops is very difficult in forests. How do they get their food grains? Where do they go? What type of food do they eat? Suppose For example, if you were sent to a forest, would you be able to find edible food there? How can you find the food items that you eat which are not grown but collected from the forest? How do you prepare them for eating? You need to know what food is edible, where it grows, and when it is available. And you may also need to know how to eat it. Can it be eaten raw? Does it have to be cooked or pounded or ground with something else or soaked in water? If we live in forests, we will get different types of food items like different flowers, different fruits, different tubers and roots, and honey and wild grains, and we also get meat from different animals. The food which we get from the forest is not safe to eating because some of them are very poisonous and very dangerous. And before eating the food which are available in the forest, we must be know about them very carefully because all fruits and flowers are not good for eating. Some of them are very dangerous and very poisonous. So what we have understood, it is too difficult to get the food in the forest areas. Then what about the earliest people? Dear children, have you ever thought about the earliest people? The people who lived some thousands of years ago. How did they gather their food? How did they prepare their food? What type of food they eat? Have you ever thought? So let's discuss who are called earliest people. Who are called earliest people or early men? Dear children, you know very well who are early men. You have already studied about the earliest people in your previous classes. The people who lived some thousands of years ago, some lakhs of years ago, those people are called earliest people or the early men. The earliest people lived in forest areas. There were no villages, no towns, no cities as we have today. What type of food did the earliest people eat? How were the earliest people got their food? Did the earliest people produced their own food? No, the earliest people did not produce any food. They depend on hunting and gathering food. Gathering food and hunting. Thousands of years ago, people sustained themselves by collecting fruits, flowers, honey, wild grains, and edible tubers and roots that grow naturally in the forests. They also hunted for birds and animals for their food. They did not grow any crop or rear any animal. Because of this reason, the earliest people were called hunter-gatherers. I am repeating once again, they were called hunter-gatherers. By this, what we have understood, some thousands of years ago, the earliest people were dependent on hunting and gathering. Mostly they collected different fruits, different flowers, honey, wild grains, and edible tubers and roots, which are grown around them naturally in the forests. They also hunted birds and different types of animals for their food, but they never grown any crop and they never rear any animal for their food. So they collected different food items which are available at that time in the forest areas, and they killed many animals which are around them. So they're depending on hunting and gathering food. Nowadays, we are growing different food grains and we are rearing different animals for our food. But in those days, the earliest people did not grow any food grains and did not rear any animals for their food. How were the earliest people hunted animals and birds? How did they know about them? To hunt the birds and animals, the hunters need to know more details about them. Dear children, if we know more details about them, we can hunt very easily. What details should we know about them? We should know which animal is good for eating and which animal is not. Dear children, can we hunt the lion and the tiger? No, we cannot hunt them. Why? Because they are very dangerous. So that's why we should know more details about the hunting animals. What details should we know about the hunting animals? We should know which animal is suitable for food and which is not, and where does the animal spend different parts of the day, where does it eat, and where does it drink water from, in what way is it dangerous, and what are the uses of its parts. If we know these details, we may kill the animals very easily. We can catch them very easily. The earliest people knew more details about their places where they were living, what they were seeing around them. So they knew different birds, different animals. They also knew that which animal is good and which was bad. So they had known many details. The earliest people over many generations had learnt about all these things and taught them to their children. They had learnt from their ancestors and they passed the same information to their children, how to hunt the animals and how to gather the food. What types of tools were used the earliest people to hunt the animals and birds? Nowadays, we are using different machines, tractors and tools made of steel. For example, we use tractor and other machines in agricultural field to cultivate the crops. We use these utensils in our kitchen room to prepare our food. Earliest people were also used tools in their time which we use today, but the tools are not made up of iron and steel. The tools were made up of stones, bones and wood. Dear children, I am repeating once again, the earliest people made tools with stones, bones and wood. What they used, children? They used stones, bones and wood. Dear children, how do we know they used stone tools? What evidences are there? There are evidences. Archaeologists found some stone tools at different Stone Age sites in all districts of our Telangana state. Dear children, we can see Stone Age sites in our Telangana state. We have found stone tools made by them in almost all the districts of the state. Some of these places are Ekkala in Jayashankar district, Amrabad in Nagar Karnool, Eleshwaram in Nalgonda, Ramagundam in Peddapalli, Utnur in Adilabad, Armoor in Nizamabad, Manjira Valley in Sangareddy, Cherla in Bhadradri district. By this we can say the earliest people were used stone tools at that time. At the early stage, that means at the beginning of the human lives, the earliest people were used large stone tools. They used big stone tools. The earliest people were used these tools to kill the animals and birds, to cut the flesh, and to dig the earth for tubers. To cut the animal's skin and flesh, they used sharp stone tools. How they sharpened the stones? They sharpened stones by chipping them with another stone. Chipping means cut or break a big stone into a small piece. The early people hit one stone with another stone, so they became very sharp. After thousands of years, they made small stone tools. They were called microliths. Here, micro means small, liths means stones. Microliths means small stones. So, the earliest people made small stone tools. They were called microliths. Archaeologists found some small stones, microliths, in our Telangana state at Ghanapur in Adilabad district. They were fixed these small stone tools to wooden or bone handles that served as knives, arrows, sickles, etc. I am repeating once again. They were fixed these small microliths to wooden or bone handles that served as knives, arrows, sickles. See children, figure A is early hand axe and figure B, stone sickle. The moment ago we discussed already why they used weapons. They used weapons to dig the soil, chop trees for bark, remove the skin of animals, clean the skin, make cloths from the skin, cut meat and bones, chop fruit and roots, and hunt animals easily. At the initial stages, that means when the human beings started their life on this earth, they did not wear any clothes. Why? Because they were not aware of clothes. They didn't know about the clothes. After some years, they had learnt how to make clothes. When they hunted large animals, they used animal skin as their cloth. So they started making cloths from animal skin and fur and tree leaves and barks. I am repeating once again. Early humans wore animal skin, fur and plant leaf and bark to cover up and protect their skin from weather conditions like winters and summers and rain. The primary objective of clothing was protection. Fire. The discovery of fire by the early people brought great changes in their lives. It was the greatest achievement in the evolution of the human life. Probably they made fire by striking two stones or rubbing wood sticks. Fire enabled them to eat roasted meat. Until they did not use fire, the earliest people ate raw flesh. They didn't eat roasted meat, they ate raw meat. But after the discovery of fire, they started eating roasted meat. Earliest people have learned that if meat is roasted in fire, it will be quickly digested. This was the beginning of cooked food. So they started cooking what they were eating. They also used fire to keep off wild animals and to light the caves. Dear children, why did the early men use fire in those days? The early men used fire for many reasons. They used as source of light, to roast the meat and to scare away the animals. Where did the earliest people live? The earliest people used to live in small groups in the caves or under trees or rocks. I am repeating once again. The earliest people were lived in the caves or under the trees or rocks. They did not build houses as like we. They did not live at one place for a long time. They constantly moved from place to place. They changed their places. Actually, they led a mobile life. They did not stay at one place. So they constantly moving from one place to another place. So that's why the earliest people were called nomads. Dear children, who are called nomads and why they were called nomads? The people who regularly move from one place to another place, those people are called nomads. Why people move from place to place? Why? Because to get the shelter and food, to search food and shelter, they move from place to place. Can you guess the reasons for early people's continual movement from one place to another? There are many reasons for this. First, if they had stayed at one place for a long time, they would have eaten up all the available plants and animals resources. Therefore, they would have had to go elsewhere in search of food. Second, animals move from place to place either in search of smaller prey or in the case of deer or wild cattle, in search of grass or leaves. That is why those who hunted them had to follow their movements. Third, plants and trees bear fruits in different seasons. So, people may have moved from season to season in search of different kinds of plants. Fourth, people, plants, and animals need water to survive. We know we cannot live without water. Water is found in lakes, streams, and rivers, while Many rivers and lakes are perennial, that means with water throughout the year, and others are seasonal. After rainy seasons, it will dry up. So, people living on their banks would have had to go in search of water during the dry seasons, that means in winter and summer. When the early people got free time, leisure time, they were used to draw the pictures on the rocks. They painted beautiful pictures on the rocks. We don't know why did they draw the pictures. Perhaps they may have drawn pictures while celebrating some important festivals or events. Maybe drawing pictures like these had some religious importance for them. They were drew pictures of different animals and birds and hunting scenes on the walls of many caves and rock shelters. They painted with beautiful colors. To color the pictures, to paint the pictures, they were used different colors. How did they create the different colors? So they used different flowers, different leaves and different plants and different colored stones and animals' fat to create the colors. They made different colored powders from different colored stones and mixed with animals' fat. They were also used bamboo sticks as brushes to paint the pictures on the rocks. Just now we have discussed already, the rock art paintings consist of hunting, fighting scenes, honey collection, dancing, music, etc. The paintings mainly depict different animals, different birds and different geometric signs and human figures, and they also depict different types of weapons like bow, arrow, sword and lances. Dear children, we can also see the rock art sites which are painted by the earliest people in our Telangana state too. The archaeologists found so many rock art sites in different districts of Telangana. Pandavula Gutta is one of the famous and most important rock art site in our Telangana state. The rock art site of Pandavula Gutta is situated near Tirumalagiri village, Regonda Mandal in Jayashankar Bhupalapalli district. The Telangana state government put this rock art site in the world map. It is a unique site as it has painting from prehistoric times. That means it is painted about 12,000 years ago.